News Talk 98.9, the roar of Memphis. Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
Brought to you by the Minimalist Bed and Breakfast. At the Minimalist Bed and Breakfast, we embrace the concept of less is more, which is why our policy is to give you less, but charge you more. Each of our tastefully appointed rooms features nothing but an air mattress, a flashlight, and a roll of toilet paper. Don't let worldly distractions ruin your family getaway. Check in to the Minimalist Bed and Breakfast today.
You know, Allan, I've noticed these days, if you say you're a minimalist or going green, you get away with being a cheapskate on everything, man.
Oh, yeah.
It works. Good business model. Thanks a lot.
Well, the next part in their new commercial is they're going to tell you all about how the toilet paper is organic.
Absolutely. And recycled. And welcome to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning.
And I'm Allan Gilbert with GeekySideTV.com.
Little off your mark there, Allan. And we got our buddy Max behind the glass. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989, or go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page. Give us a like. As a matter of fact, Allan, if they go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page, they are going to see our must-have item of the week, which I was very prompt. I got it posted early. So, you know, we always love giving a little tip of the cap to our people that love spoilers, that they just can't wait to find out things before everybody else.
Oh, absolutely.
But speaking of the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline, we finally got our buddy Jay Hill back in the studio. He's another one of these guys where, you know, trying to schedule these guys is not always easy. They work.
I was going to say, that would be because we just had a line of thunderstorms, and he's kind of busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we got him coming in. It's the holidays, Allan, and I guess you've got a few holiday hacks for us.
Oh, absolutely.
These are yours. We're going to find out if these are something that the normal human being would want to do. We have our must-have item of the week, but I'm also very intrigued by your science story, sewer cleaning enzymes and probiotics. Did I hear you correctly, sir?
You did.
Okay. Sounds very talk about going green.
Oh, absolutely.
And also, you're bringing us a story, the light bulb revolution.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the LED revolution of a little bit about lighting from then till now.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And we've got other surprises coming at you today. So it's all coming at you today on Tool Talk Radio. But before we get to any of that,
and now, Tool Talk Radio's weekly salute.
Every monumental accomplishment was born from a spark of inspiration. When Isaac Newton was sitting under a tree, he was struck with a spark of inspiration, as well as an apple, which led him to revolutionary discoveries in the laws of physics. When Dr. Frankenstein observed lightning striking a tree, he was struck with a spark of inspiration for a new and exciting way to bring his monster to life. When Orville Wright observed the motions of a bird in flight, he was struck with a spark of inspiration which helped him and his brother launch a revolution in aviation. And, of course, when Allan Gilbert concluded that his SRC, Squirrel Relocation Catapult, was proving ineffective at keeping the rodents out of his backyard, Allan was struck with a spark of inspiration, deciding instead to change tactics completely and install a SSMCB, Squirrel Subjugating Mind Controlling Beacon, which hypnotized the creatures, giving Allan the power to create an army of thousands of obedient squirrels, which he now uses to guard the perimeter of his property, fetch his gardening tools, and exact revenge on his annoying neighbors. I guess if you can't beat them, join them, right, Allan?
Absolutely. Climb up a tree and act like a nut.
Yes, you never know where that next great idea is going to come from or when that spark of inspiration may strike. So today, we salute a very different kind of tool, a tool designed to build the imagination, a tool which has inspired the young and the old for the past 9 decades. My friends, we give you Lego. What do you think of that, Allan? I think that's a fair thing to salute here on Tool Talk Radio. Everybody in the world knows Lego, right? I mean, especially if you've got kids. I mean, what kid doesn't love Lego?
And I'm going to say, once you have ever stepped on one of these things, you will never, ever forget them.
Yeah, there are things that leave their mark on a person.
Man.
So, but Lego, they're great because the reason I wanted to bring this in. Well, it's the holidays, Alan.
It is.
And I mean,
it is.
Lego is such a great. It is probably the number one toy in the world, and deservedly so. And it does. You talk about building the imagination, but honestly, it isn't just kids that Lego is for everybody.
Well, all right, I'm actually going. All right, I the funny thing is the number of actual working devices in this planet made out of Legos.
Talk to me.
You need a quick housing for something, Legos. They're small. They're portable. You can form them into nearly any shape.
Indestructible, too.
And they are, as we love to say, pert near indestructible.
Right.
So you need to put a quick housing around a motor. You need to do a study on how would the property look if it's laid out a certain way. Everybody from architects to engineers has a huge box of Legos sitting around.
Yeah. And I mean, let's face it, an architect, an engineer, or a home builder, or a carpenter, they all started playing with that's what they started with as a kid, and that maybe what inspired them to work with their hands.
It is indeed the gateway toy / production / engineering tool of the century.
Absolutely. Well, we're huge supporters of Lego, and in fact, in honor of that, Alan, we're in the perfect position here because at News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis, we have a Lego expert.
We do.
Dan, the Lego man. He's going to join us. He's going to join us in the next segment to unpack this a little bit more and just talk about the joy of Lego.
Awesome.
You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
Sorry about the mess. I've really let the place go since you killed me. By the way, thanks for that.
Sarcasm self-test complete.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
Well, it sounds like Alan's home alarm system is functioning properly. And welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry, and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth from Geeky Side TV and our pal Max Behind the Glass. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989. And, of course, we invite you to go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page, give us a like, and check out all the action going on over there. Well, Allan, we've got a special guest on the show.
We do.
I hope we got this thing working here, Max. We've got Dan the Lego Man, who's a fixture here at News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. Dan, how's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm actually in Nashville. I know you know this, that the Memphis Tigers will be playing UT a little bit later on this morning, so I'm already in the stadium itself at Bridgestone.
Absolutely, that's great, man. So we hope those guys do well today. So, but hey, Dan, we wanted to tell this is Tool Talk Radio. However, it's the holiday season, and we're giving a little salute to Lego, and you are the Lego authority in the station here. I mean, it's funny because you are also the captain. What is your official title here?
I'm the broadcast captain for the University of Memphis radio network. Yes.
Which sounds very impressive, and yet nobody calls you that. They call you Dan the Lego Man because that's where that's where the passion lies. So, hey, Dan, talk to us about that because we're talking about inspiration, and my opinion is I'm sure anybody that's become an architect or a builder or just somebody that likes to work with their hands, they probably began with Lego, right?
Oh, they had to begin with Lego. Just actually the people that I've met that design the Lego sets with Lego up in corporate and everything, they all have degrees from MIT, architecture degrees, math degrees, stuff like that, just to be able to design the Lego sets for the customers out there, for people that love them. And so when you start off as kids wanting to have imagination about what to build out there, even if it's a small fort for your soldiers, or if it's the biggest princess castle for the princess, all imagination for kids starts at a young age, and Lego is definitely there.
Absolutely. Hey, Dan, and you work for Lego, right?
Yes, I do work for Lego. I am a field rep for them. I also do some of their multimedia, Facebook, Twitter stuff for them. So, yes.
Okay, because, in our salute before we went to the break, we didn't have time to give a little bit of the details about the Lego company, who founded it, that type of thing. But how old is the Lego company?
Lego company, I'm going to, because I don't have it right in front of me, but it goes back to about 1924, I think, and started out as just a toy company that made toys out of wood. And they actually had a big, huge fire, and it demolished all of their inventory out there and everything. And about 5 years later, the owner of the company just decided, what can I do to actually have something that can be reused as toys, not just for one thing, because they were famous for this wooden duck. If you actually look at Lego, the wooden duck has a very big time symbolism for the Lego company. So he wanted something that it could be reused, imagination out there for kids, and to be honest with you now, adults alike. But then he started fiddling out and everything, the Lego brick, the first Lego bricks and everything, and then it went from there.
Yeah, and I think those Allan came about in 1949. Allan's got the page pulled up. He's got the
yes. There we go. There
since
we go.
Dan was ill prepared. Come on, Dan.
Ole Kirk Christensen is the lovely gentleman that made these absolutely adorable little wood ducks. And they got a big picture of one on their website if anybody wants to go look at it. But you're correct. After the fire and after they kind of rebuilt and kind of looked at it and went, ooh, maybe we need to do something different, they founded the Lego Group in 1932.
Yeah.
But it's not until really post-World War II that the Lego brick that we know and love really kind of kicked in and started basically conquering the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, and this was my thing, and another reason I wanted to bring this onto Tool Talk Radio, because I think what's great about Lego is it creates this sense of, okay, you talked about the wooden duck. So you buy a wooden duck, you pull it out of the box, and you're playing with a wooden duck. There's not a whole lot of room for modification there. That's pretty much the toy. Well, with Lego, you buy a whole box of bricks. It's a to me, the way I look at it is it's a cooperation between the toy manufacturer and the person that buys it, where they're the toy manufacturer used their imagination to come up with this, but now the one playing with the toy is using their imagination, and they realize that this is a very modular toy. And I feel like as homeowners, we should feel that way about our homes as well. It's not just written in stone, Allan. You can, if you want to tear that wall out, or if you want to add something, or if you want to, there's room to do whatever your imagination guides you to do. What do you think, Dan?
Oh, that's completely correct. I mean, if you have a set that, let's just say it's a city set and it's the police station, and you want to actually add some more cells for the bad guys, you can add some more cells. Or if you want to have 3 or 4 more cop cars, you can add 3 or 4 more cop cars. You can, you could do whatever you want. The imagination is all there, and just thinking about, the next step of what they want to do. If you want to just have, just a small house somewhere that you just want to build right there, you could do that. But if you want a big, huge cityscape, you can build the whole thing from Lego.
Yep, absolutely. So, and you still play with Lego, don't you?
Oh, yes. In fact, I'm going to brag a little bit. We get a gift from Lego headquarters from Europe every single year, and it's a special. You saw one of the Christmas gifts that I gave for that I was on Geek Squad a couple weeks ago.
Geek Tank.
This one, Geek Tank. Excuse me, Geek Tank.
We don't want Best Buy suing us there, Dan. So okay.
Yes, exactly. But this is the 10th year of Ninjago. Okay, we're celebrating 10 years of Ninjago, and they sent us a Christmas temple for Ninjago for our Christmas gift, which I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Pretty awesome. So yeah, and that's going to be that's going to be well used at the Dan the Lego Man house at the O'Brien home.
Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will.
How about your kids? Are they hooked on this too?
I've got a younger son. Well, he's now 14, but I've been with Lego for 7 years now. And really early on, he was in love with it. In fact, in his room, He has got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 Star Wars fighters, basically.
Yeah.
And like it was back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you would actually have the model planes and you would hang them up on your ceiling and everything. He's got them hanging up. He's got these Lego ships hanging up on his ceiling like it was like kids would do back in the 50s, 60s, 70s with model planes, except these are Legos.
Yeah.
Lego sets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen it because there's also a sense of accomplishment when you build a set,
Right.
especially when there's like 4,000 pieces in it and you're, some 8-year-old kid. I remember my son, he got the, what did he get? It was the, it was like a transport ship, the Star, I think it was from Attack of the Clones. Man, he was up till 2 a.m. putting that thing together. I want to say there was 3,000 or 4,000 pieces in that thing. And, holy smokes, you do feel a sense of accomplishment. So, hey, Dan, can you give us a little, since we've got you, we want to take advantage and get some behind the scenes. How do they develop all these sets? Because, I mean, there's hundreds and maybe thousands of sets out there right now. So
now right now, just behind the curtain, basically, we are actually basically have an idea of what's going to come out in 3 years.
Really, it's that
really
long of a development.
Really, yes, really for City, for Creator, for Friends, for the sets that are Lego based. Now for IP, of course, I mean you've got if Star Wars has a new movie coming out, if Marvel has a new movie coming out, that might be a little bit sooner and everything, and you have to do the development a little bit quicker. But we do have a agreement with Marvel, agreement with Star Wars, with Harry Potter. So we do know, hey, there is a movie coming out in 2 years. We're going to have a couple sets with that. We just don't know what those sets are. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but with like, take for instance, 2 years ago, City came out with a space sets. We came out with I think 7 of them, and we had that planned out 3 years in advance because we wanted to have it on, I think it was the 50th anniversary of the landing on the moon. So it kind of went along with that. We had NASA's permission. In fact, we had a big, huge contest of who could actually create the next spaceship that NASA could maybe possibly build. And the winner of that, they actually made that into a spaceship. And the next time that NASA actually had a shuttle that went into outer space, they took it to outer space.
Yeah, I noticed NASA loves you guys, man.
Yes, they love us. They absolutely love us. Yes, yes.
All science geeks love you guys. So, but I mean, really, everybody loves Lego. They create a great culture. They've done a lot, I think, for humanity. Lego has been a blessing to humanity. I will say. And folks, if you're out there and you ever want to get to something fun, go to a Lego convention. Those things are a blast.
Yeah. Yes.
And honestly, Dan, those things attract just as many adults as they do kids, right? I mean,
well, right now, I'm going to say this. With our sales just going through, the last time we saw it, I think in July, we were looking at, I know it's kind of hard to actually say adults versus kids and everything because you don't know exactly who's buying it, but we know about what the sets are, how hard the sets are. It's about 42%. Adults are buying Lego now for adults only.
Incredible.
So it's creeping up there, and you could tell by the sets that are coming out. I mean, we've the past 5 years. I mean, the architecture sets that we've come out with, they've come. I mean, we used to only do like 2 or 3 a year. Now we're releasing 10 to 12 to 14 a year.
Wow. Hey, Dan, we got to let you go, man. But we'll be seeing you back here on Tool Talk Radio and definitely around the station.
Yes.
Go Tigers.
I sure will.
Good luck.
Go
Thanks,
Tigers.
man. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from News Talk 98.9, The Roar, Memphis. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're bringing in our buddy Jay Hill from Big M Roofing and Remodeling.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
People really don't know how to finish wood properly.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
You know, I really, once again, those broad generalizations that Ron Swanson gives. Ron, a lot of us know how to finish wood, not just you elitist.
Joe, he's not talking to you.
I feel like he is.
You feel so called out every time you hear that.
I take that personal. And welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbert from Geeky Side TV and our pal Max behind the glass, who likes to bring us these rejoiners bound to trigger me. He knows it's going to get me upset. You can call or text us on the Big M Roofing and Remodeling hotline at 901-683-0989. And we also invite you to join us at the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page. Check us out there. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure you check out all of our must-have items. There's links to past shows, Allan. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything.
Yeah, they can also pop over to tooltalkradio.com. And again, there's our history of shows there. And the big Spotify button, so they can actually tote us around with them.
Yeah, Spotify rocks. You can listen to you can binge listen to Tool Talk Radio if that's your thing. You know what else you can do, Allan? I got to get better on my transitions. Transitions stink these days. But let's suppose you have a heating or air conditioning situation, which let's face it, you don't want that. I mean, but it happens. Call the good people at Brown Refrigeration because for one thing, I mean. The service is outstanding. They are state of the art. They have technicians that they're well trained. Allan, you've got those guys.
I know the guys. I got them on speed dial. Trust me.
And just good, solid business practices. Then they do it all. And you want to get your air conditioning right. And the other thing too, they have tune-ups. It's kind of like a mechanic. You don't necessarily go into your mechanics getting a new transmission every time. You might go in there for a tune-up or an oil change. Well, your HVAC system needs that kind of attention too. So they've got great deals. Check them out. They're good people. And of course, Mrs. Brown is a riot. She's in there. Talk to her. She'll set you straight. But get in touch with them if you have any HVAC needs or if you need a smart home system or Indeed. Clean air. That is a thing here in the Mid-South that is important. They're clean air systems. They clean ducts, but they're Remy Halo system.
I am such a fan of the Remy Halo, especially these days I saw on the news last night, they were talking about we are probably actually going to have a flu season this year.
Yeah, imagine that.
You know what? The influenza virus is destroyed by UVC. Welcome to Remy Halos.
Yeah, it releases these little cleaning particulates in the air that they like to destroy flus. They fight against COVID.
They do.
So get in touch with the good people at Brown Refrigeration at 901-362-1881 or go to their website, brownref.com. Well, guys, we've got our buddy... We've got another sponsor, another big shot here. He's such a big shot, it's impossible to get him into the studio because, I guess he works. He's a busy man. But we got our buddy Jay Hill from Big M Roofing and Remodeling. Hey, Jay, you're a tough man to track down.
I tell you what, we've had a lot going on weather-wise, among other things, as you know, especially over the last week. And we've been, as a buddy of mine would say, busier than a one-arm paper hanger.
Easily.
That's what you say? It's a pretty good one. I
Yeah,
haven't heard
best
that one.
I know. Yeah.
Well, I wondered what happened because what was it, a week ago? We had those really heavy duty storms that came through, and the poor people in Kentucky and Arkansas really got hit. But I'm assuming there were some ramifications out here, Jay.
All types of damage, absolutely. Of course, we didn't get all the roof damage and all the major stuff that happened northeast of here, but kind of really started here, really for all intents and purposes, and kind of moved its way northeast. And we got plenty, though.
Well, we're always talking, and today, Jay, we also want to talk a little bit about the remodeling. We lean heavily on the roofing side of your business, but you also do remodeling. But let's suppose somebody's out there and they're noticing, because if they had damage, they might not necessarily have noticed it the day of, but maybe the next time rain rolls through, they're going to notice it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a bunch of ways that you can tell. Over time, in particular, that you may have had some roof damage. Sometimes, it's the water intruding the home, the stain on the ceiling or the wall or something like that. Sometimes it's as simple as the shingle laying in the yard that a neighbor might point out. But at any rate, you need to get that checked out, because if you don't, what you're going to find before you know it is that you got water intruding the home and you've got a big mess to take care of. And the great thing about what we do, again, is, we do this day in, day out, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day sometimes, just looking at roofs that have potential storm damage. And, it doesn't cost anything to take a look at it and see potentially if you have something there that needs to be addressed. So I always just say to folks, hey, if you're not sure, give us a call. We'll do a free roof inspection for you. And at least you'll know where you stand with your roof, and we can advise you from there.
Yeah, and if you're new to Tool Talk, because I know, Alan, we get new listeners every week. One thing you want to know about Jay as well is you've got a lot of experience in insurance because you were a former insurance agent. So a lot of times this damage may be covered by your homeowner's insurance, and there you go. That is a process. That is something you need to navigate. That's something you need to understand, and you know the whole you know how those things function, and it gives you a big advantage, I would think, over other roofing companies.
Well, and I would say this, most importantly, navigating through any type of claim as it relates to your home these days is not something that you want to do by yourself. I mean, you just don't. Insurance companies have absolutely tightened up. And, you see all the time, the attorneys on TV, 888, we fight, whatever. I'm just saying you cannot navigate these things by yourself because there's just too many ins and outs, too many things that you need to know. And you need to have somebody on your side that understands both sides of it, both the construction side of it and both the insurance side of it, that can help you get what you deserve, what you paid for.
Yeah, I mean, because like you say, it's just like anything. It's funny, Jay, this week I was dealing with insurance, but it was for my auto insurance. My daughter up in Knoxville got in a car accident, so she's fine, but the car, we're navigating that process with getting reimbursed and it is. I feel like I should have. I wish I could have had Jay representing me on this one, but it is. You do feel, and you feel a little bit out of your depth because this is something we don't deal. The average person is not dealing with this stuff on a daily basis. And Alan, we've said it before. You might replace a roof. The average homeowner might replace a roof once or twice in their whole life, right? I mean, this is not something we're doing all the time.
Start talking about things with a lifespan of between 20 and 40 years. Honestly, I'm going to look at Max over here, who's quite a bit younger than I am, and go, he might be involved in two roofs sometime in his, adult lifespan. That's about it. So unless you buy an older house that already needs a roof, especially if you're buying a new house, it's 20, 25 years. And I'm going to look at Jay and say, all right, and if you got a house with a GAF system, it might be longer.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the great thing about being a GAF Master Elite installer is that when we build a roof, you literally end up with a lifetime non-prorated transferable warranty on your roof. So if you've got one of those, you really have nothing to worry about. And one of the things that we're seeing a lot in the Mid-South lately is, we are just in that spot on the globe, if you will, where we just get a lot of storm damage. It just comes straight out of the Delta, and it just happens here more so than any place I've ever seen in my life. So you can have a new roof and literally have it darn near torn off 5 years from now. It just happens all the time here.
Well, one thing that amazes me about being in the Mid-South, since we have listeners all the way around the world, in the Mid-South, just this weekend alone, we're going to go from summer yesterday to fall today to winter tomorrow. Yeah. So in one weekend, you're going to go from your heat to your air to, air conditioning. So we've got this huge changeover, and that's hard on a roof.
Man, it is. And I'll tell you, the thing that you mentioned right there that's so important is, the difference not only in those seasons, but those temperatures alone. If you don't have the right components on your roofing system, I promise you it's not going to last 40% of what it's supposed to last if it were built correctly to start with.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we are in a weird, because I've lived in different parts of the country. In Chicago, it's winter for, it feels like it's winter for like half the year, but it's not. But and then I've lived in the Southwest where the weather's the same every day. But here, you never know what you're getting, man.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Hey, Jay, how do people get in touch with Big M Roofing and Remodeling?
Well, you can certainly give us a call at 901-484-5645. That's the best way to catch us. 24/7 you can catch us. Of course, go to our website, which is a great website. We're very proud of it. A lot of information about us. Big M Roofing and Remodeling.com. Got a full gallery of all the types of work that we do, and all the contact information, everything that you want to know about filing an insurance claim, anything you'd want to know about us. All of our credentials are posted right there transparently, and that's the best way to get us.
Absolutely. So we're going to continue visiting with our buddy Jay Hill. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
One of these days, you're going to get yourself killed, you know that, and I won't be...
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
You ever hire any of those guys, Jay? I've seen that type.
I haven't, but I guarantee you if they fill out applications, they could get hired today.
Oh, boy. And welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry, and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbert from Geeky Side TV, our pal Max behind the glass, and our buddy Jay Hill from Big M Roofing and Remodeling. As a matter of fact, you can call us on the Big M Roofing and Remodeling hotline at 901-683-0989. And Jay just installed a really new, cool new feature to the Big M Roofing and Remodeling hotline. You remember in Batman, Allan, the 66 Batman, where it's a red phone and it lights up? You've got something like that too, Jay. You're all about, bells and whistles, aren't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's not a geek. The problem with Jay, Jay's a good guy. He's a good friend of ours, but he has no geek blood in him at all.
I really don't.
You make a Star Trek reference, and he just looks at you with glazed eyes. He has no clue. So.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. He keeps us covered.
One of his few shortcomings. So, hey, Jay, though, we talk about roofing a lot whenever you come on the show, but you guys are really heavy into remodeling. As a matter of fact, it's called Big M Roofing and Remodeling. So what's going on in the remodeling world right now?
Well, I'll tell you the big thing, and I have to start by making this statement. I'm absolutely convinced that 50% of America will never go back to work at the formal workplace that they were before.
50%, huh?
That's a wild guess, but I'm telling you what, so many people are converting garages and adding on additions to have home offices for him or her. It's mind-blowing how much of that we're doing right now.
Huh. I'm going to have to agree with him. It is reaching a point where people are just going, why do we need to do this? We can do this from this, but you do need a good designated work area.
You do. Absolutely you do. And I think the corporations are starting to see that they've not lost a stride at all in terms of having everyone working from home. And I think that combined with the other facts, just lend itself for the statement that I made, that I just don't think that a lot of people will ever have to go back to the formal workplace. And again, I bet we've converted 15 garages in the last 6 months.
Wow.
It's that brisk.
Hey, now that sounds kind of interesting, Jay. In fact, I think we talked about that early on, Allan, as far as rethinking your garage, because the garage is a huge space. It's one of the biggest room. If you want to look at it as a room, that's a pretty big room, especially if you have like a 2-car garage. So
right.
When you talk about converting, Jay, what kind of you're making? I'm guessing you got to put some HVAC out there. And
well, you've got to do it all to take a space like that and convert it into something that's usable, just like the interior of your home. But yeah, that's everything from checking your framing, adding your insulation, your drywall, adding your lighting. A lot of cases, obviously, you're going to have to run 240 for your HVAC, getting all the electric right and finishing it out. Putting your carpet down and so on and so forth. But yeah, it takes a little time. But it adds so much value to the home as well. I mean, it's not something that you're ever going to lose in terms of the money that you're investing in it immediately. You're probably going to get your money back 2 or 3-fold if you ever decide to move on. It's always going to be a nice, usable space, that's heated and cooled that you can use.
Wait a minute. You said carpeting. You're carpeting garages.
Well, it used to be a garage. So when we get done with it again, I mean, it's just like your home. I mean, it's unbelievable. And sometimes it's the garage, and sometimes it's an addition off the backside of the home as well. So I mean, there's a bunch of ways that you can absolutely do that. But creating some space for someone to work in at home that feels like the office is the big thing right now. We're doing a lot of it.
Because that was sort of a question. So Jay, I didn't think about this because I don't work. I so far you can't have a remote deck builder or somebody remotely building a patio cover for you. No. I haven't been taken over. The robots haven't taken over my industry yet, Jay. But so people working at home, is it along the lines of they just need a space that's separate from the house because otherwise there's too many distractions? Or I guess I'm wondering why they have to have this whole room converted. So
a multitude of reasons. I'll tell you one that we've seen a lot of. I think the one that's most prevalent is that the wife's home, got kids that are there, you've got dogs inside, dad's trying to do business on the phone or concentrate inside the house, and there's just too many distractions inside the home. So if he doesn't have a separate place, or she doesn't have a separate place to actually conduct that business, then it's just not working out the way it's supposed to. I think everybody's probably seen some of the videos on YouTube where, a man's trying to do a sales meeting on YouTube or over the line, and here comes the child, in the back knocking stuff over. And you just have to have some kind of privacy to do that and to be effective.
Yeah. It's cool, though, that they're rethinking the way, Allan, this is one of our things. We're always preaching about this is your house. You don't have to lay it out the way everybody else does. You can, if you want your home office to be in the garage or in the attic or whatever, it's your call. Why not take advantage of every square foot?
Well, and let's face it, with the dynamics changing like they are, you really do have to rethink your home a little bit, because now it's not just a kitchen and a bathroom and bedrooms. Mm-hmm. Now we're starting to we started decades ago looking at the yard as an integral part of the house. Joe, you and I have worked on where people were bringing the great outdoors pretty much indoors.
Oh yeah, these because Jay, I'm doing all these patio covers and screened-in porches, and it's no longer just we're going to put some lawn chairs out there. They're putting kitchens. They're putting full. I mean, these are high-end, outdoor kitchens and making it almost living space.
It's pretty close, and now with the work dynamic shifting and changing, I know several people that have jobs that it's impossible to work from home, especially when you get into food, healthcare, of a lot of where you have to be there present. But on the flip side of that, a lot of service industries, you don't actually physically have to be there.
Yeah.
So now you really are looking at your home as also interior living space, exterior living space, but now you're really thinking in terms of where's the office going to be?
Yeah. And, the station here might be a great example of that. Anybody in a sales-type position, I mean, rarely with COVID and everything going on, is there anybody physically here at the station? I mean, you don't have to be in order to move forward. I mean, you're out in the field, you're making phone calls, and you can do those things from anywhere.
Yeah, you're pounding the pavement. And let's face it, with smartphones and tablets and computers and mobile hotspots, your office is in your car. It could be anywhere. So,
exactly. Exactly.
So, and I'm thinking, Jay, too, if you're a business owner and you don't have to rent a 5,000 square foot office space, you can rent a little small space, and all your other people are working remotely. You may be right. I don't know. Something about it is. I don't know.
We could be operating from a shack. We could be operating from a shack right now. Nobody'd even know.
Yeah, but so you're, and maybe we are. So, but hey, Jay, so you've been working at basically, people reconfiguring the layout of their home, I guess, not repurposing, but just I don't know, changing the dynamics of the home. It's kind of interesting.
Well, you did that with your home. You kind of went, our lifestyle doesn't do this, so you converted was it dining room and a sunroom, Joe?
Yeah, that were basically sitting abandoned. You've seen those, Jay. I had
your wife teaches yoga there.
She teaches
Absolutely.
yoga and personal training right out of the house. And now, instead of just being in a gym with noise and distractions, people come over, they get one-on-one attention, and they get to look out over a nice backyard instead of
Exactly. And it's not $3 a gallon to do that.
Well,
Stay at the house.
That's another big. Well, that is a big concern when you start adding in the commute.
Yeah.
And then it's not so much, I'm going to say, the price of gas as the price of your time.
Yeah.
Because you get, just case in point, one wreck on a key street anywhere, and an hour of your day just became toast.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Very interesting. So you guys do, you do a lot over there. Because I wondered, too, Jay, does roofing slow down in the winter? Or, I guess here in the Mid-South, we don't really get much to slow us down. But
really, we don't, and especially when you've got weather like we're having right now, for instance. You can pretty much lay year-round. The only things to really watch out weather-wise with roofing are that you never want to, get involved with laying a roof when you're less than like 36, 37 degrees. You need the shingles to be able to seal, and that takes a little sunlight, and it takes a little bit of heat. But as long as you're not near that freezing point, you can pretty much lay roofs year round.
Okay, but I was thinking even still, because like Allan said, we're going to have some winter weather coming up, and maybe that is a time to lean into some of the remodeling projects. I'm thinking. So.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we're proud that we've done. It's been a good business decision for us. Is that sometimes the roofing will slow down, and then the remodeling comes in, whether it be painting, building fences, doing that addition. Gutters. We do all types of landscaping. I mean, we just do windows is a big part of our business. We've got something for everybody, and that way, again, when one trade slows down, the other one seems to pick up. So we're always busy.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Jay, I want you to drop by my house because we're at a point where probably the next improvement we do to our house is going to involve windows, because our windows are terrible. Our house was built in '52. I think we have the original paint, and man, you talk about drafty and
Yeah, windows are a big deal, and I tell you, there's been a lot that's happened in the window world between 1952 and today, Joe.
Yeah, and Jay, I will say this. I've said it on the air ever since you guys changed put a new roof on our house. I can show you the utility bills, and they've gone down every month, especially in the summer. I was noticing, man, it was $70 or $80 cheaper every month, and I'm sure it's to do with the new roofing system you guys put in.
Absolutely, those ridge vents are king. They really are effective and do exactly what they're supposed to do.
So yeah, so good people over there, and of course Jay's funny anyway. If you call Big M Roofing and Remodeling, just call Jay directly. That's my recommendation. We rarely give out your office number.
Well, a lot of people say that I'm funny all the time, and using old Steve Martin line. I tell you the reason I'm funny is like when I come on the air, like right now, I put a slice of bologna in each of my shoes. That way, I feel funny.
Yeah, thanks for that info. All right, so remember that if you get a visit from Jay Hill, he's going to have 2 slices of bologna in his shoe.
Yeah.
Hey Jay,
your dog's going to love him. Yeah,
I don't know how to segue.
Get back, dog. Get back.
How do you segue off of that, Jay? How do people get in touch with you at Big M Roofing and Remodeling?
901-484-5645, or you can always go to bigmroofingandremodeling.com.
Absolutely, gosh. That threw me, Allan. Whose
dog is this?
Yeah, the old bologna in the shoe trick. So anyway, all right. Well, Jay, it's always fun having you drop by the studio.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And thanks for the hotline, and thanks for that glowing telephone you've sent in.
You're
anyway,
absolutely welcome.
Anyway, well, hour 1 of Tool Talk Radio is in the can, Allan, and it can't come soon enough. I need to go recover from this. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
And welcome to Hour 2 of Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbert from Geeky Side TV, and our pal Max behind the glass. And Jay Hill, he decided to stick around for another segment. We're going to, I guess we can say this on the air. Jay, it's your birthday.
It is.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And you can't see this through the microphones, but Allan was nice enough to bring in some, what did you bring in? You brought birthday cake for Jay.
Yeah, I brought in a little buttercream birthday cake for him.
I'm going to tell you what, it is absolutely delicious. And thank you, Allan, for thinking about that, man. Appreciate you.
You know, here at Tool Talk Radio, we take care of our sponsors, Allan.
That's right.
You know, if you want to jump on the Tool Talk Radio team, you'll probably get birthday cake when that time of year
I love to cook.
Yeah.
In case anybody's, missed that, subtle reference.
Yeah, if this could be a 2-hour cooking show with little references for home improvement, Allan would be,
I'm good. I'm good.
Anyway, if you want to talk to us, you can get in touch with us, call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989. And, of course, we invite you to go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page. Give us a like. Check out all of the action going on over there. Check out the must-have item of the week, which has already been posted. And if you're sitting there crying into your coffee because you just woke up and you missed the first exciting hour of Tool Talk Radio, never fear, because you can catch all of our past episodes there. You can you can go to tooltalkradio.com, check out our links there, check out the links to Spotify, Allan.
Absolutely. That's right. You can tote us with you. All of our past episodes are up. You can go to, for those of you that are YouTube fans, our past episodes are up on YouTube or at wherever fine podcasts are distributed. And, of course, we love Spotify. And if you go to Spotify, if you don't mind, give us one of those nice little 5-star reviews and go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. That stuff definitely helps the algorithms, those evil algorithms that control the world right now. Hey, Alan, you've got a science story.
Hail science!
Jeez, and Max had his finger over that button ready to go. So this sounded interesting. Sewer cleaning enzymes and probiotics.
Well,
sounds a lot like anti-gas medicine to me, but go ahead.
Well, odd you should say it that way. Back in, we even had a king once upon a time that said, if you wasn't going to be a king, you wanted to be a plumber.
Oh, pretty good. I get they're in high demand, I'm sure.
Was that Don King?
Well,
was that Don King?
It was actually the king of England.
Okay.
But, let's look at the sordid history of our dear plumbing.
Well, plumbing involves every human being on the planet. So
this is a big thing
of
disease control in our modern world is honestly because of plumbing.
Sure.
Of water comes in. The big thing is every human habitation ever created had to have a source of water. Water's got to come in, and waste materials have got to go out.
Yep.
It's just...
And the way you manage it determines sanitation,
so much stuff.
Disease, smell.
Makes sense.
Well, we just don't have, cholera outbreaks anymore.
Yeah.
At least in our part of the world. We have clean water. And for those of you listening around the world, Memphis is blessed with artesian water. We really are spoiled.
You could bottle the water that comes out of your kitchen faucet here in Memphis and go sell it to Californians.
It's better than almost everybody else.
Yeah.
So we really are spoiled.
Yeah.
Now, the trick is, though, no matter how good your water is, no matter where you are, the things leaving have a tendency to get a little funky. So we'll start with just general pipes and overall. There has been a recent phenomenon, it's not really recent, but shows up every so often off of the East Coast, and they love to call it fatbergs.
Oh, tell us what a fatberg is.
A fatberg is where people flushed too many oils, and now they have gotten cold, and now they have congealed together, and now, is floating through your septic system or floating through the municipal water system, or even to the point where it winds up out in the ocean, you wind up with these can be literally huge vats of fat.
So when you made your bacon or when you fried, those onion rings at your house and you dump it down the drain or whatever.
It goes somewhere. And this time of year, I'm going to pick on yesterday and tomorrow. Yesterday, it was 60, almost 70 degrees.
Yeah.
So you poured the leftover oil down the drain. You ran the hot water from Jay is
bad
shaking.
Idea.
It's a terrible idea.
It ran the hot water for a minute and everything went away.
So you think.
That was fantastic because it was 60, 70 degrees yesterday. All right, today we're getting the transitional rains. Because, we got cold air pushing in. Now, tomorrow, if you deep fry something and go ahead and dump it down the drain, it might be 60, 70 degrees in your house, but on the way out, it's going to be 32.
It hits an ice cold pipe.
And now it's going to freeze up.
Right.
And this is where a lot of new technology has come in the probiotic world.
Right.
And I'm talking like, yogurt drinks and that kind of stuff. Well, a lot of companies are now exploiting probiotics and digestive enzymes in keeping your pipes clean.
Yeah. Well, I do see a connection, Alan, because I know in keeping your body healthy, one of the things is you don't clog up your arteries. Your arteries and you got to keep everything clean.
Yeah.
And so the same idea here.
And two, I'm thinking about septic tanks, and, you're always supposed to flush some of that product. I forget what it was called, but
they're variety now.
Yeah, they kind of break down some of the stuff that you're talking about. But now they're trying to do it for the pipes themselves. Another marketing
and there's
angle.
a number of products. They've even come up with little sticks that you just drop into your sink, into the drain, goes into your J-trap, and it gets rid of the slime molds and the food builds up in those traps, and thus keeps things flowing smoothly out of your building.
So if I can predict, Allan, because I know you like the back of my hand. I know how that brain operates. These days, we're dealing with a lot of chemicals and a lot of harsh treatments to deal with this. I bet you when we come back, what we're going to learn about is a more natural way to dissolve these.
Absolutely.
There you go. Jay, do I know this guy or what? I mean,
you do. Really, all you
can
got
read him like an open book.
Yeah, but really what you should learn to do is make a good gravy out of your dadgum bacon grease, and you never have to worry about it.
There you go.
Goes well with the bologna in Jay's shoes. Anyway.
Better that way. Exactly.
You're listening to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from News Talk 98.9, The Roar, Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to listen to Allan explain all sorts of organic and natural ways to get rid of the sewage in your home.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
I haven't seen you fellas since you destroyed my home, my land, and my rocket.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
Yeah, and you won't see us either, man. I'm staying clear of that guy. So I still contest that we destroyed his rocket, Allan. Okay.
We didn't destroy it. We borrowed it.
I think borrow is the right word, sir. And welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry, and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbert from Geeky Side TV, and our pal Max behind the glass, and our buddy Jay Hill, who is he's stuck around. We were talking roofs and remodeling with Jay, but Jay was very intrigued with this new sewer talk. And I mean, let's face it, this is something that everybody in the world deals with, Allan. You're bringing us the science of the latest way to dispose of sewage in a more organic fashion. So
absolutely.
Hail science!
Hold on, Max. Okay. We're going to dive back into that in a second, but just before we get to that, I want to keep it high tech. We want to talk about science, I suppose. The science of remodeling your kitchen or bathroom.
Oh, yes.
Because, I don't know if this is, I guess it's a crossover between science and sound business practices. Our friends at Tri-State Interiors, Mike Serafolian, with the, we have a contest. If you can spell Mike's name correctly without Googling it, I don't know what you win. You're going to win something because, his name is not easy to spell. It's worse than my last name. So anyway, don't look at me that way, Allan. But Tri-State Interiors is very easy to remember. And when it comes to remodeling your kitchen or bathroom, you got to get that right because that is the center of your home. Everybody deals with it, and it's a great way to improve the value of your home, the enjoyability. But what you also don't want is you don't want to lay out a bunch of money for a kitchen or bathroom remodel because you're paying you're paying for overhead, basically. You're paying for a lot of bells and whistles that you don't necessarily get to enjoy. Well, Tri-State Interiors prides themselves on their craftsmanship and keeping a low overhead. So you're only paying for those things you need because when you get a quote for a kitchen or bath remodel, the prices can fluctuate thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. So Mike believes in, keeping the overhead low, getting you reasonable prices. But then also, Allan, these 3D renderings, those are cool. Tell us what he does with that.
Well, here's the great thing. With the 3D render, you get to see the concept. You get to look at it kind of like a video game. Like, well, let's see what would it look like if we had all dark counters. Yep. What would it look like if we had light cabinets to go with that? What would the floor look like? And then a month later, before you do the job, you discover, oh my gosh, what I really love is quartz countertops.
There you go.
You go back to the 3D render, a few button clicks later, and now you can see whether or not you're really going to love it before you spend all that money.
Yeah, you just download it on your smartphone or your computer, and you can carry it with you. You can show it to all your friends. You can get input from everybody else, everybody in your home, so they can chime in. And then once that's ready, they order every part that they're going to need, every component, and they put it in their warehouse, and then they don't start until they have all of those
Everything's
materials.
ready to go.
So, good people over there. Get in touch with them, and they have a huge footprint. They're called Tri-State Interiors for a reason. If you can hear us on the radio, you're in our service area, basically. That's a good rule of thumb. So get in touch with Mike Serafolian, and you tease him about his last name as well, at 901-409-1333, or go to tristateinteriorsllc.com. Allan, see, you don't relate to this. I grew up with, my whole life, I've had to spell my last name for people, so I know what it is to have an unusual last name. You're kind of on the border. I think people can figure out how to spell your last name.
Not a chance in this world.
So when I meet a guy that's got a harder to spell last name than mine, I'm going to lean into it. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I've explained how to do my last name as fish and breathing for years.
There you go. Okay, well, Allan, let's speaking of fish, let's dive into the sewer. Before the break, folks, if you're just tuning in, Allan was telling us about, obviously we all know it's a terrible idea to flush oil down the drain.
Right.
That's just an accident waiting to happen. But up until now, we've been using a lot of chemicals. We might even use, these rooter systems when things really get ugly to clean them out. But today, there might be some more natural ways to do this, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Well, exactly. Let's go back to the original. We had clay pipes originally. What a great idea.
Tree roots.
Clay was good and stable. And to be honest, if you think about it, whoever had this idea stayed up late one night and went, ceramic. Ceramic doesn't break down, doesn't fall apart. It's watertight. Unfortunately, trees love it.
Yeah, if you crack you're done.
Yeah, because people really don't understand the destructive power of a tree.
It's that slow. What do they say? It grinds to powder slowly.
Yes.
That's what.
Eventually, it will get those roots in there,
right?
And then now the only thing you can do is either, if you're lucky, you can rooter use the system to get the tree roots out of there, or you're digging stuff up.
And I don't think the clay likes a big metal snake thing coming through there either.
They're not
it's
too
not
happy with that.
Well.
The iron pipes and everything were fantastic for a long time. They were the best thing we had. But, of course, they age, they rust.
Yeah.
They're also... trees found a way into those too, not as destructively as the clay pipes, but the iron pipes had the distinct problem of backing up, because once a little bit of rust or a little abrasion happens in there, you now have a place where material can catch.
It's like little metal sharp fingers that are grabbing every piece of toilet paper and every piece of whatever else goes down there. Yeah.
Every bit of material. So Jay mentioned his potato peels earlier. It's an organic material. It will break down, but they're pretty durable for a little while. Yeah. They hang in there. I will tell you also, if you like cooking with pumpkin, don't run the pumpkin rind down the disposal. You can back that baby up real quick. You do that once, you learn not to.
Who did that?
That would be me. Early on.
Don't tell him.
I learned that lesson. I learned where the clean out was real fast.
And don't run a pound of pasta down the disposal
or
either.
Rice or things that like to expand. However, ladies and gentlemen, this is modern life. And we were just talking about in the remodeling world, up until probably the 80s, you still had a lot of house builders and contractors that had the opinion the only thing in the pipes leaving your house was water. Just kind of a mentality. And you will still find underneath these houses and some commercial buildings, you will find corners, 90-degree corners.
Yeah.
Today, we use what's called a Y. In other words, it is a gentle curve around, much like when you watch the Olympics, the toboggan guys.
Yeah.
They have these curves. They don't go around hard corners.
Yeah. That wouldn't end well.
It doesn't end well in your pipes either. So it's the opportunity for things to build up. So what has been happening is we know that the machine is kind of rough. We don't want to put a metal machine down into the pipes if we can avoid it. We've got a lot of great camera systems to get down in there and look and see what's going on. But fundamentally, what is happening underneath there is organic processes.
Okay. Are we going to talk about these enzymes anytime soon?
Right
All right
now.
I'm kind of
we are there.
I've been rubbing my hands together, Alan. Let's go.
We are
man.
there.
Okay. Yeah.
So now what we're talking about are the biologicals.
Okay.
Jay's tater peels, oils, fats. Guys, basically soap is a fat. And there's a little fact for you.
It makes sense. It's got that oily bit about it.
It's it's designed to get stuff off of you, but fundamentally, it can still gum up the works. So a lot of research has been going into what enzymes and what bacteria produce these enzymes are available. What biologics are here to do the work? Because we know if you go take a stick of butter and lay it down in your yard, it'll go away.
Okay.
Nature will find a way of making use of whatever you gave to it. So now a lot of these companies are starting to package of biological drain cleaners and drain openers. Now, there's still the really harsh chemicals that actually have a reaction and opens things up. But now we actually have, and like I said, I'm going to pick on the little stick things. You drop one down into your sink, it falls down into the J-trap, and it slowly dissolves, releasing the biologicals and the enzymes, thus getting rid of the slime molds, getting rid of the little bits of food and stuff that may lay at the bottom of it. And if you think about like your bathroom sink, heaven knows what goes down that, including hair, makeup, and other stuff. So these constant being revived with the enzymes and biologicals keep this material being digested, broken down into smaller particles, and thus moving on down the line.
This strikes me, Allan, is along the lines of
much safer for your pipes.
Well, you don't necessarily want to get to the point where you've got a big clog and then you got to try to undo it with these enzymes, because that's not going to work. At that point, you need
time. The enzymes need time to work.
This is more along the lines of this is a regular treatment to keep the pipes healthy. It's kind of like taking vitamins every day. You don't just eat garbage, not exercise, and don't take care of yourself, and then when you're 60 and you've had a heart attack, you drink a glass of orange juice. It's a little it's a little late at that point. So you're talking about keeping your pipes healthy with natural enzymes,
this
probiotics,
is a maintenance type item that prevents the big event.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I'm going to talk to you off the air, Allan. It sounds like another. Never mind. You're listening. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from News Talk 98.9, The Roar, Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
We painted the whole house, and without getting a drop of paint on anything but the flapping flotsam. What's that?
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
Chill out, SpongeBob. It's just a drop of mud there. And welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry, and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbert from Geeky Side TV, our buddy Max behind the glass, and Jay Hill was here earlier. He left. I guess he's got things to do, Allan. Work,
he's
intervene.
busy, man.
He had his birthday cake. He hung out. He got to talk about sewage, and he let us know that he has baloney in his shoes, which kind of was upsetting. And then he took off. But you can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling hotline at 901-683-0989, like our buddy Dan the Lego Man did earlier in the show today. It was fun talking to him. Well, Allan, I've got a little bit of a beef with you, and I think this is, and I'll just air my grievance here on the air.
Okay.
If you just tuned in, Allan brought us a story about sewer cleaning enzymes and probiotics, basically natural and organic ways to keep your drain pipes clean in the home and keep things flowing, let's say.
Yeah, available
without
at
using
a big box store near you.
Without using harsh chemicals or anything like that. Well, folks, when we go to plan what we're going to talk about on Tool Talk Radio, a little peek behind the curtain, Allan and I always we have a little text chain that we put our notes together, and you have this thing of phrasing things in a way that is going to get my interest and attention. I wanted a conversation about how this was going to turn into the next monster movie and how this could lead to something, I don't know. You were talking about fatbergs and all these exciting science things, when really what we're talking about is just basic everyday health and normal safety, kind of like what you would do to your body. Take your vitamins.
Yes.
Eat healthy. Keep your pipes clean. Keep your... So, I don't know, man. Okay. I just feel like you're always trying to keep me on edge and keep me triggered. But
well, yes, that's my job.
So anyway, that's it. But you did mention one product that I think you wanted to give a shout out to. Green. What is that? You said you use it regularly.
Yeah, one of the products that we're using, even though they're not paying us, is called Green Gobbler. And what it is, just a little green stick, and you just drop it down in, goes in the J-trap, and it is full of enzymes and little bacteria that love to eat grease, fat, and basically any food-based object. And the other cool thing is it does it fairly quickly. So
it dissolves, right? I mean, I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, it eventually dissolves away, but it hangs around for about a month in your J-trap. And so all the little particles and stuff. Now, see, a lot of people forget the little J-trap doesn't get flushed out completely unless you put a lot of water down your system. And a lot of people are being water conscious, and they don't.
Okay.
So it builds up. So what happens here is the little enzymes and the little bacteria go to work eating the stuff, but it does it without those really harsh chemicals that have a tendency to break down your pipes, the glues, and the things that hold the stuff together.
Yeah.
So fundamentally, it's kind of a maintenance item. It's not an exciting DIY topic, but for anybody that's ever had to dig up a pipe or has had to fight with a septic system, this is exciting stuff because nobody wants to do that part of the business.
Yeah. So I guess in closing on this, because I think we beat this subject into the ground, Alan. So in closing, you don't want to just get to the point with your sewer drains where you're relying on, it's clogged, it's backed up, it's causing a problem, and then you got to reach for those harsh chemicals to clean it out, or the nuclear option, you could say. Just continue, put a regular diet. Give your sewer lines a regular diet of healthy organic materials, and that will keep things flowing properly.
Keep you out of digging up the yard.
Well, speaking of moving things along, Alan, let's move along to our must-have item of the week.
Alrighty.
So, Alan, tell people what I am holding up here.
You're holding up a 40-foot extension cord.
Yeah. People are probably going, whoop-de-doo, a 40-foot extension cord. I know what an extension cord is. Obviously, we don't have to tell people what an extension cord is. However, the magic number here is it's a 40-foot extension cord, folks. I work with extension cords every day, and I know, Alan, you like to tease me because I haven't totally embraced the whole battery-powered everything yet. I'm a full supporter of battery-powered drills and other tools, but I still use my extension cords pretty regularly. So
there are times where that is just unavoidable.
Yeah.
If you've got a big job, you're going to be using a tool a lot. As much as I love my battery-powered goodies, they have a very limited lifespan.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be doing a lot of something, in this case, I'm happening to be working on a job this week that involves a lot of tile. There's no way you're going to operate that tile saw battery operated for as much tile as we've had to cut.
Perfect example, Alan. We're building a fence this week.
Perfect.
You put in 400 fence boards. You're not going to do that on one charge of a battery.
No, you're not.
The reason I brought this 40-foot extension cord in, folks, because I have them of all sizes. You get the 100-foot cord. It tangles. It's heavy. It's awkward.
Yes.
It's a good thing to trip over, and I almost never need it. I do need it on occasion, but mostly I don't. And then a lot of times my 25-foot extension cord is a little bit short, and I find myself adding other cords to it. This 40-foot extension cord has become my go-to cord. I don't know. I like it. It's got the same. It doesn't feel much different than the 25-foot cord in terms of weight and portability and everything, but it's just it's my new favorite one. And honestly, price-wise, I think it's a few bucks more. It's really not much difference in price. So that's it. It's as simple as that. A 40-foot extension cord. If you obviously all of us need extension cords. If you do any work out in the yard or around the house, I'd be curious if you found that as well, that the 40-foot works for you.
Well, I've always found that the 25 magically is 5 to 10 feet too short every single time I'm out on a job with length.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm not 5 feet from a socket, especially working exterior, because you're always 30, 40 feet from where you need to be.
Yeah.
So it just makes all the difference in the world. And the other thing I'm going to throw out is not all extension cords are created equal.
Well, let's bring that up, Alan, because you're going to go there and you're going to go, why is this the cord thicker on this, and why is it this one double the price of the other one? So what's that all about? So,
Well, again, not all cords are created equal because it depends a lot on the amperage that you're going to be running through this. If you're doing some heavy-duty exterior work, you do not want some light-duty little inside the house, I'm just trying to move a lamp type of cord.
Yeah, and we all know Clark Griswold with that famous scene where he's got 8 million cords
yes,
plugging in, and they're overheating and melting and short circuiting.
Right,
so,
you want a good, and this is one of these things where I'm going to say, don't buy the cheap one. Anytime you're dealing with electricity, and especially over length, because you can't really see what's going on around that corner.
Yeah,
because especially like you and I, if we're working out in the yard, this thing's plugged in way back up at the house. It may be out of line of sight. We can't see what's happening with it.
You might have a chipmunk trying to bite through it. You don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's happened more than once.
Anyway,
So a good solid cord with insulation and a nice amperage rating of, I like 15 to 20 amp cords myself because that's what the average breaker handles.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that's our must-have item of the week, the 40-foot extension cord. Alan, let's continue our electrical talk.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned this at the beginning of the show. I hope this isn't going to be one of your head fakes and another one of your things designed to get me, confused. You used the word light bulb revolution.
I did.
Somehow I feel like if you would have just called this a light bulb discussion, you knew I wouldn't be interested. But when you use the word revolution, that's, I'm a Gryffindor, by the way, folks, so that's what stirs me up. But anyway.
All right. Well, let's look at really quickly the cost of lighting.
Okay.
Of 150 years ago, lighting was lamps, either a gas or a solid. And it cost money. Can you imagine lighting a house with candles?
Gosh. Or Christmas trees like they used to do.
Or using a Baghdad battery.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
It was
unbelievable.
expensive.
And hot. What if it's July and you're 8 million candles in your house? I mean,
bingo, you've got this. Then we went to gas lighting, and we won't mention the word tuberculosis.
Right.
Or consumption. So lighting throughout history. All right, ladies and gentlemen, go easy on Grandpa a little bit when he's yelling, "Turn off the lights. These things ain't free." This is left over from a time when, honestly, the lighting in your home cost as much as your home.
Sure.
Or could cost you your home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, we got a break coming up, so we'll dive in that a little heavier. But I'm going to leave you with that thought. Just remember, lighting your home used to be amazingly expensive.
Yeah, and, I mean, just think, there's so many other contributing factors, too. Think of what it did for your vision. If you're constantly squinting, if you don't have all the shadows, all the and the vibe that it creates. A badly lit home is depressing.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So there really was there is a lighting revolution, you could say. So, well, we hope we're enlightening you here on Tool Talk Radio, here at News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. We sure hope we are. We're going to take a quick break and come back and continue our discussion about the light bulb revolution.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
I will say, Allan, no matter your shortcomings, you always keep your deflector shield activated at your home.
Absolutely.
And welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry, and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth from Geeky Side TV and our pal Max behind the glass. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling hotline at 901-683-0989. And, of course, go to our Tool Talk Radio Facebook page. Give us a like. Check out all the action over there. Share your home improvement triumphs and tragedies as well. Send us pictures and interact with us that way. And, of course, if you miss any of Tool Talk Radio, never fear. You can go to tooltalkradio.com or you can go to Spotify. There's all sorts of ways to hear us and binge listen. And if you do go to any of those wonderful platforms, make sure you give us a 5-star review and give us, say nice things about the show. It helps the algorithms. And even if you got to make things up and lie a little bit, we don't mind. Allan, real quick, before we jump into our discussion again about the light bulb revolution, tell us what's going on at Geeky Side TV.
Well, at Geeky Side TV right now, of course, we're pushing Scott Carroll's Story Time. It's been very, very popular. And of Kate Mobley's On the Scene's been getting quite a bit of action here lately. So you can see interviews with independent filmmakers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and if you are it's Roku. Just go to the Roku channel. Go to your pull up your Roku TV and just.
Yep.
I've downloaded the app. It's very simple. It takes 2 minutes.
And Geeky Side TV is a free subscription.
Yeah. And if you're a content creator out there and you think you have what it takes to become the next Roku star, get in touch with Allan Gilbreth and he will
we can hook you
possibly put you on the air.
It could happen.
Real quick, too, Allan, I want to remind people, I've got a word to say, too. If you have a deck or a pergola or a patio cover or a screened-in porch or really anything made out of wood for the outside of your home, this is honestly my favorite time of year to be working out there. For one thing, lumber is very easy to get right now. Lumber prices have leveled off a bit. They're nothing like they were last year, Allan.
Thank goodness.
And it's a great time for me. I like working out in the winter. It's much easier. Your blood's moving. You just put a jacket on and you're ready to roll. So if you've got any of those projects, it's a good time to do it too, because by the time the spring rolls around, you're going to be ready to entertain and show it off. So give me a call at 901-921-7105 or go to my website, thorshomes.com. And I'm going to tease something, Allan. We have a new, it looks like we have a new sponsor jumping on board with Tool Talk Radio.
Excellent.
We got to cross the I's and dot the T's. That's probably going to happen in the next week or two. So
even better.
We'll be announcing that soon. But if you think, we really want more experts in the field. If you're a plumber, an electrician, if you're anybody involved with the home improvement industry, we would like to talk to you about partnering on Tool Talk Radio. And you can call me directly. It's a really good way to do it. Just call me at 901-921-7105. And, of course, all of our sponsors get birthday cake, like Jay Hill did, right, Allan? You baked him a nice...
I did. We take care.
Absolutely. All right, Allan, hey, the light bulb, we were talking about the revolution in lighting. We were talking about what a dismal prospect it was back in the day with hot lamps, hot candles, dangerous fire, gases that you're breathing in, all this just inconvenience. So the light bulb came along and changed that. But today it's even more revolutionary in terms of how efficient they are, how many options there are, how much, how long lasting they are. So.
Well, when we look at the overall cost of daily living, it was massive. I just can't imagine burning candles or other organics to light your home. Not even heat your home or anything like that. We're just talking about just lighting your home to do your daily work.
To do your homework. Imagine that you're doing
try to cook, to do anything.
Yeah.
Tell you what, your shop sure would have looked different.
Well, it's funny you say that. I was just thinking that. I'm like, okay, suppose you're a woodworker. You're out there trying to you're working with sawdust. You're working with all this flammable stuff with candles and lights.
Yeah.
My gosh.
So, so here comes the light bulb in various iterations over the years. So we've had a variety of different kinds of light bulbs. And we had the incandescent, and we eased up to fluorescent. Now we have a burning gas in a tube as opposed to a little really hot tungsten filament. And fluorescent came along and gave us basically the modern office, the modern layout, because lighting now could cover larger areas.
Yeah.
And even that, the fluorescent has progressed to the point where we had fluorescent bulbs the size of incandescent bulbs.
Well, the fluorescent, I feel like when they first started that, those were those twisting bulbs, right? They're the size of a light bulb, but they're it's like a
all twisted around, right? Yeah.
I wasn't as big of a fan of those, although I will say it seems like they've improved, mostly because of the light it gave off. Like, I felt like I looked blue every time I looked in the bathroom mirror.
Well, you're pretty close. But now the new revolution is on because it's also going to kind of lean into a little DIY here because lighting designs form and function.
Mm-hmm.
So as we lay out our homes in the future, the thing we're going to be looking at is not a burning lamp. It's not going to be a hurricane lamp or some kind of oil or flame. It's not going to be an incandescent bulb. It's not even going to be a fluorescent bulb. The winner is going to be the LED.
Yeah.
So we are talking drastically less energy use. So an LED light fixture is probably going to use $8 whole worth of electricity in a year if you left it on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
They last longer too, don't they?
They last longer. They don't burn out like the old bulbs. We're used to, the incandescent bulbs did. They don't break. They're not delicate like a fluorescent.
Mm-hmm.
So the LED is becoming the clear winner, and it doesn't seem to be very limited. The LED can be designed in almost anything from a replacement for a fluorescent fixture like you have at your office, or Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Everything these days is going LED. So,
and it's more portable, isn't it? Because,
drastically different. Yeah.
When I do these patio covers and when I do these screened in porches, Alan, the hot item these days are these like LED strips. They are literally a strip that you can either glue on or tack on. And some of them are remote controlled. You run them along the top edge of the patio cover, and it gives off this really nice glow. It can change colors at the flip of a switch. They're portable, and they don't get hot. Like, you can put your finger on this light bulb, and it doesn't heat up.
Does not, right? So,
which is really cool.
Think about 100 years of this, Joe. It has been a technology. I know everybody's tired of the phrase "game changer."
Well.
But it is. This is going to decide the form and functions of our homes, because we're now not going to be limited by the lighting technology. LED, like you said, can be anything from a light fixture to something as small as a strip.
Yeah. Well, and we're always talking about the health. I think all of this stuff ties in. You want clean air in your home. You're breathing in air, and you're breathing in air. You want it to be clean. You want to eat healthy food. Well, honestly, the right lighting definitely affects your mood, because we know bad lighting affects your mood. So why wouldn't good lighting positively affect your mood? So
well, and with the LED, different people like different levels of light. Some people like it a little cooler. Other people like bright Miami 12 noon sunshine. An LED fixture could provide you with everything in between.
Yeah.
So you talk about a wonderful revolution. So lighting is just everywhere, which kind of leads me to a little quick thing about holiday decorating hacks.
Okay, talk to me.
Because, guys, it's time to throw away all those old Christmas decorations. I got news for you. It is time to let them go.
What about sentimentality, Alan? I've got decorations
the LED.
Okay.
Embrace the LED. Let them go, Joe. Quit fighting with the cords. Quit fighting with the wires. Quit fighting with the bulbs. Because now, with the modern technology from people like the command hooks, you can put those tiny, clear command hooks and these nice light LED light systems that they're selling right now at every big box store on the planet. You've got clear hangers up there that are not obtrusive. You can leave those hangers up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and just change out your decorations.
That's a good point, because it used to be even just those Christmas light bulbs that are the different colored bulbs, those big fat ones, and the other, for one thing, they break. Yeah. The other thing is they tangle really badly, and they take up more space, because I remember growing up with just big boxes of things that, and they have to go somewhere during the year. So you go in your attic, and half of your attic is filled up with with holiday decoration as well. If you make it more portable, and honestly, like we said, these modern lights, with a flip of a switch, you can make it look like it's snowing outside your house. You can change colors. You can make it look okay.
For our dear buddy Brandon from Geek Tank, he decorates starting in like September. He starts for Halloween.
He's all about decorating the outside of his home.
He loves setting that place up. So with the new LED lighting systems, he could be using his darker colors, his reds and blues for his Halloween. And then when it's time to switch gears and become a little more festive, there's his nice whites and greens.
Yeah, I do feel like lighting it's wide-reaching, the implications, because it's not, like we said, it's not just light bulbs. It's not just It's everything. Our phones have lights on them. Everything has lights on
Yes.
it, and it's making it efficient. It's kind of like our talk. Everybody deals with sewage, Alan. Well, everybody deals with light too. We need light.
Absolutely.
So why not make it more effective, more earth friendly, more go green and all of that good stuff. So all right, I guess that's a pretty good hack. But I'm not throwing away my antique Christmas ornaments for the tree, Alan. I'm not.
We can talk about those
cold-hearted.
next week.
Okay, those we believe in. Keep that tradition going, because that is one of the fun things with the holidays is keeping that balance of
Well, there's some great ways of hanging on to your legacy, but I'm going to tell folks it's time to start looking forward and embracing a lot of new stuff.
Okay, all right, I can go with you on that one. So hey, Alan, this is pretty interesting episode of Tool Talk Radio, I have to say. And it was fun having Jay stick around here. He's a riot. And then learning, his learning about the baloney in the shoes. I haven't gotten over that one yet. But anyway, hey, the Tigers are coming up right
Absolutely.
now. They're getting ready to throw us out of the studio, so we better get out of here. So you've been listening to another action-packed episode of Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. On behalf of my buddy Alan Gilbreth and Max Behind the Glass, I'm Joe Thorderson. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.